Good morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Trav, and today we are having a very short and sweet, brief. That last word was redundant, but you get the picture here. We're having a very short and sweet AMA with the Tectum team today. Now, you're already wondering. I could read it through the lens of the camera. Where the heck is Alex? Alex, unfortunately, is unwell today, so he was not able to join us. He's been working his butt off, and finally things are catching up with the man here. So he's taken some well-deserved rest. And today, in the interim, we have Dimitri with us here. Dimitri and I have been working hand in hand now for probably close to a year now. Am I right on that, Dimitri?
Around that, yeah.
And actually, you know what? I'm not sure if I've ever actually pronounced your name out loud to you before. Am I pronouncing your name right?
Absolutely correct. Just Dimitri.
Dimitri.
The most, basic Russian name you can think of.
Perfect. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for joining us here, Dimitri, and thank you to all of our viewers here with us today. We have already, within the first 3 minutes of being live on this live stream, have 62 people with us here today. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to get to you in a quick moment here, Dimitri. I would love for you to introduce yourself to our audience here today. But first things first, just to kind of set the stage here, the point of our AMA today is just to deliver some of the more recent updates, and then to be here to answer any questions that you guys may have to the best of our abilities. Of course, we are not the CEO nor the founders here. So what we can guarantee for you, though, is if we cannot give you an answer today, we will take note of said question, and we will make sure that you get an answer either for our next AMA, either in the Telegram group or somewhere on any of our other socials. We will make sure to keep in contact with you guys here. And what we felt most prudent and important today, and correct me if I'm wrong here with this, Dimitri, is that we be here regardless of Alex feeling well or not, so that we can carry through with our promises, connect with you, our awesome Tectum community, and just have some fun here. So on that note, Dimitri, welcome. Please take a moment and introduce yourself to our community.
Oh, hi guys. My name is Dimitri. I'm currently head of content at Tectum, which is part of the marketing team, as well as I've been working closely with the entire partnerships team that we have, which includes Leon.
Includes Leon, yes, exactly. And we are hoping to get Leon here today. As per usual, Leon is traveling the world on behalf of Tectum, trying to make things happen here. Honestly, and back me up on this, Dimitri, he's one of the hardest workers that I've ever met. The man's a man, a myth, and a legend, all wrapped up into one here. So we'll see if we can get him on here as well. Hoping to at least get one other team member on here today as well, just to kind of give you guys a well-rounded perspective of what's been happening with Tectum here since our last AMA last week. And in the meantime, let's kind of maybe review what we spoke about last week, Dimitri. So do you want to kind of just remind our audience kind of what our most recent announcement was, and maybe a bit about the significance of it from your perspective?
Yeah, absolutely. So last week we made an announcement of launching the TCT token, and obviously we faced quite a skepticism, right? But Alex have managed to clarify to everyone that the TCT token, first of all, it's not replacing TED, right? And TCT token was designed for the community, for us to give back to the community. We realized that the DAO model of the TCT is exactly what Tectum has been missing. And once we launch 4.1 plus, as Alex likes to say, blockchain, people will be able to vote with the TCT. People will be able to directly participate. And, well, most importantly for the community, I feel like people will be able to stake TEDs and get TCTs.
Exactly. So in terms of supply and demand, that addresses both of those sides of the balance in favor of, the value of Tectum, of TCT, of TET. We have to be careful with the words we use, but it looks optimistic and dare I say bullish. So wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that with us here. And if you guys would like any more detailed information, I know the website has been updated. And of course, you can check out the Tectum website at tectum.io, or feel free to check out any of the socials, primarily on X. You can find Tectum at Tectum Social, and all of the links are up in the bio there as well here. So we made that official announcement. We had the AMA with Alex. We made it very, very clear that TCT is not replacing TET. that they are in fact meant to complement each other and fulfill the value add, fulfill the utility that the other one is unable to fulfill, just to have that very holistic approach to actually supporting a community. Any other major insights on the TC token that you've kind of, where am I trying to go with this? I know where I'm trying to go with this is, Dimitri, is that I know you have been in contact very, very closely with
everyone, literally. Yeah.
Yeah. So what sort of concerns have come up, and what sort of responses have you been able to give those concerns?
Well, I mean, as I've mentioned already, it's this whole skepticism of launching the second token, right? But then, I feel like what people are missing is that, TED is still the main gas, it's still the engine of the entire soft node and Tectum project, right? So TCT is more of the, hey guys, you might, if you want to get rewarded, right? If you want to participate directly within a whole Tectum ecosystem, Tectum team, right? TCT gives you that exact opportunity to do it, right? But what I also feel like is important to mention is that I don't know, Trav, if you remember or not, but last time Alex has mentioned about the EPOS development, right?
Yes.
Yes, the electronic point of sale terminal.
Mm-hmm.
And this will be launched simultaneously next week, same as TCT. So, well, me personally, I'm more excited for the EPOS, right? Because this is something that gives the merchants a chance to, well, start using our system.
100%, which makes a ton of sense as well. And then maybe this is a good format for this. I can tell you how I understand these updates, and maybe you can clarify whether I'm on point, whether I'm not on point, and we can kind of have a bit of back and forth with that. But from what I understand, when it comes to the EPOS, there's a 1% utility fee for the EPOS, and of that 1%, 20% is going to go directly back to the community as a reward for the actual income that comes in as part of that income stream that's going to be diverted to the community for holders of TCT. Is that correct?
Exactly. So, which is also what is also important to mention is that the transactions that are made directly through Softnode, right? So let's say I hold the Softnode wallet and you hold the EPOS Tectum terminal, right? They're completely feeless. The only fee that merchant will have is the fee when he's trying to withdraw his money. So this is when that 1% comes in. So let's say he's been using our system for 6 months, 12 months, whatever, right? And he never withdrew that money. Practically he never paid any fees. So the more you hold, the less fees you pay.
That makes a ton of sense. Okay, gosh, I appreciate you clarifying that. That makes a ton of sense here. And of course, the more that it is used, the more revenue will be generated from that. Yeah. And in terms of the rest of the remaining 80%, I know there is a breakdown on the website that talks about what all of that will be used for as well. But I do understand that a lot of it is, or most of it rather, is going to be just funneled right back into research and development, pushing forward Softnode, all of these, just the forward progression of Tectum as well. Now, Dimitri, another really interesting part about the TCT token is that it's going to enable the whole DeFi side of things and maybe I wonder if we can talk about that for a quick second here. And again, I can kind of explain to you how I understand it, and then you can let me know if I'm on point, off point, or somewhere in between.
That way is easier. Yeah, so I can either correct you or just say yes, Trav, you're completely correct, and yeah.
That's what I'm going for. What I'm going for. Awesome. So everyone watching us right now, get ready to either drop a round of applause emoji, a thumbs down emoji, or however you're feeling creative here. So from what I understand, you can actually use TCT as collateral. You will be able to use TCT as collateral for lending and borrowing, which I'm super excited about. That's coming to the Tectum. So is it the 4.1 blockchain, 4.1 plus blockchain where the DeFi will be? Okay, no, that's really exciting. I know for me personally, DeFi was one of the first sectors in crypto that really captivated my attention here. And the fact that it's now coming to the Tectum blockchain is pretty fascinating. Any further insights on that side of things here, Dimitri?
I mean, you should definitely mention that aside from just the borrowing and lending, we will also have the NFTs coming up simultaneously once again.
Okay. Tell me a little bit more about
And
these
the
NFTs.
NFTs, exactly. Yeah. The NFTs are more likely to be customized directly by the users, and our design team has been working tirelessly on it. So that's another cool feature, I would say, of the TCTs.
Very cool. Now, okay, here's something I'd like to have clarified is that I know when I was doing my own research and reading the white paper, there was a point that mentioned there would be discounts for holders of TCT for services or regardless, one of those was NFTs. So does that make sense that holders of TCT would get a discount for
exactly.
NFTs?
This is one of the key features, I would even say, because when we were developing the TCT, the whole TCT idea was basically Leon's, right? And Leon also made it straight that TCT must offer discounts. Otherwise, the TCT will be considered a security, right? And you know how it is, the whole process of trying to license the security, going through the endless circles of hell. So this is why if we have discounts, and we will definitely have discounts, right, with our partners, as we already had quite a few partners in the past, right? But right now we want to make it as practical as possible.
Makes a ton of sense.
Exactly, yeah. And I believe the whole partnership team has been working on it, and that even when onboarding merchants, right, we're not just trying to onboard merchants, we're also trying to onboard people that are happy to work with us, right? So
amazing.
Exactly. So if a big company, big merchant comes in and they're like, okay guys, so we feel like this 1% is too high, whatever, and we're like, okay, you know what, fine, we can work something out about it, but in exchange, how about, guys, you offer the discount for the TCT holders?
Okay.
So that's
massive.
one of the approaches that we're having at the moment.
Understood. Okay, so I'm really starting to gain a better perspective of the different means of leveraging the application of the TCT token, not just for investors, but for actual partnerships as well. I think it's going to be huge. And especially talking with massive merchants, like multi-billion-dollar merchants who are going to be using whether it's Softnote, EPOS, any of the digital products on the Tectum blockchain. I think writing's on the wall. That's going to be huge.
Exactly. One thing and I don't know, Travis, if you heard of it, but did you know that the whole EPOS market is like 2 trillion worth?
No way.
Yes, it's 2 trillion worth. Even if we, let's say, gasp, I don't know, like a humble 1%, it's already million. If from that million, let's say, I don't know, monthly, yearly, we take out another 1%.
Yes.
And then from that 1%, we take out another 1/5 that will be coming back to the customers. Practically, we'll be distributing, I would say, tens, even hundreds of thousands dollars every single year.
Wow. Unreal. So, okay, this is something that I was slowly taking away from my conversation with Alex, and it's becoming more fortified now in this conversation with you. Is that absolutely, I'll be honest, whenever I first understood that Tectum was creating a second token, I also was feeling, trepidatious. I was concerned about that, but it really does make sense to me now. The reason for it, you're setting, it's not just for any sort of short-term gains. This is setting the stage, it's setting the foundation for long-term strategic growth, and significant rewards for the community. Just like you said, it's a multi-trillion, the EPOS system is a multi-trillion-dollar industry. Taking a 20% of 1% of all of those fees is going to be massive.
It's a lot. Yeah. I know it may sound, humble. It's just 20% of 1%, so it's like 0.2 whatever. But if it's worth 2 trillion, and it's obviously growing, especially in regions such as Asia, Latin, right? For example, like India has a 1 billion plus population, right? And it's one of the fastest developing smartphone country, in fact.
That makes a ton of sense.
To install a EPOS, you don't need to rent any expensive hardware whatsoever. No, you just download and install it straight on your phone. That's it.
Got you. No, that makes a ton of sense here as well. And I know that's kind of the whole idea of Tectum. You know, when you zoom right out 20,000 feet and you look at it, the success of Tectum means people all over the world have
benefit,
have benefit and have access to crypto in a very seamless way. And just getting back to kind of the meat and potatoes of the soft note, for example, being able to spend Bitcoin as easily as money. So or as easy as cash rather. So you can imagine that, you know, when Tectum does succeed, the amount of transactions that will be happening every single minute, you know, again, you can do the math. It's pretty incredible here. And so sorry, go ahead, Dimitri.
Yeah, go on. Finish your sentence and I'll tell you something else about EPOS.
Okay, perfect. I was going to say, I see we've got another guest in our audience here. I believe, or not in our audience, sorry, on the stage here. I believe it's Anastasia or Karen, or I'm going to have to double check on that here. I'll let her introduce herself here. But why don't you please tell us, we'll get her up on the stage, and then please tell us that next point, and then we'll touch base with our new guest here. So yeah, Dimitri, it's all yours.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's the most fascinating thing about EPOS, at least to me personally, right, is that users don't need to hold the softnode wallet itself. So EPOS is able to accept cryptocurrency from different multiple wallets. So, you know,
wow.
Yeah. So let's say you have I don't know, let's say one of the competitors, you know, a crypto wallet, right? You can pay with it directly with an EPOS terminal. The only difference between, you know, the softnode wallet and the, you know, other third-party wallet is that, you know, the third party will need to pay the fees in, you know, Ethereum, Bitcoin, or whatever the currency they choose. Meanwhile, while using softnode wallet, there's nothing. It's completely feeless.
Brilliant. Yeah. Okay, right. No, I understand the distinction now between the two. That does make a lot of sense, and I can. You know, especially in terms of adopting new users, you know, giving them the freedom to use whichever wallets they want is also huge. Just one less barrier of entry for people to get into crypto, which when we're talking about empowering third world countries, empowering people in countries, in towns, in rural areas that, you know, whose local economy, whose local currency is, you know, struggling to survive and decreasing by tens of percent every single day. Something like that would change the lives of people all over the world here. So yeah, huge distinction. There we go. I appreciate you sharing that with us, Dimitri. That's awesome. Perfect. So who do we have here with us? I'm going to pass the mic over to you. I see your name is Karen. I'm not sure how you'd like to introduce yourself to our community here, but I'm going to pass the mic to you. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. How are you today? We'll see if this works. All right. Well, we'll hold off on that for now. I'll have a chat with our guest in behind the curtains here, see if we can get them up. Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. There we go. So it sounds like there's some technical difficulties going down here, but I'll see if she can get me the updates, and then I'll be able to happily share that with the community here as well, and we'll take it from there. So real quick, guys, I just wanted to quickly reset the stage here. My name is Trav. We've got Dimitri with us, and together we are two of the team members of Tectum, and today we are just clarifying a bunch as much as we can possibly about the latest TCT announcement. And also just to kind of reiterate to you guys, if you do have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. The only way I will be able to actually see any questions you drop, because we are streaming to 3 different platforms right now, is if you actually click on the stream and write your question into the live stream chat, then I'll be able to see that. But feel free, if you guys have any questions, any concerns, let us know. We're going to be streaming probably for about 10 more minutes, maybe 15 at the most. And we'll try and get to as many of your questions here as we possibly can here. So Dimitri, I'd definitely like to ask you real quick a little bit more about the staking. I have, there's 2 topics I'd like to quickly touch on here. One is staking, and then one is airdrops. I know in terms of community connection and community interest, these are directly related to revenue for community members, for loyal Tectum holders, could you maybe tell us a little bit about the staking here first? I do have some numbers and some info up in front of me here, so I'm happy to refer to that as well. But any initial thoughts on staking that you want to share with us?
I mean, my personal initial thoughts, I feel like it's amazing now. We practically give the people an opportunity to earn money for free, right?
Yes.
Because, let's say if someone is not feeling well regarding TED, well, which is in my opinion is wrong, but I'm not giving any financial advices whatsoever.
No
right?
financial
Let's
advice.
say he decided to sell. Once again, don't. How about instead of selling TEDs, you can stake it, right? And while staking TEDs, first of all, you're taking that TED out of the liquidity, which logically enough, should raise the price of TED itself, as well as after 3, 6, or 12 months, regarding depends on for how long you staked it for, you receive TCTs that will also worth money. So instead of selling for the price you're not happy with, you can sell it after you staked it if you wanted to, but as well as you receive TCTs that you will also be able to sell it. So in my opinion, staking is a win-win for everyone, for both Tectum, for the community, for everyone. And
it makes a ton of sense.
It practically hits all the key points.
Absolutely. And what's interesting here as well is we already mentioned holders of TCT will get a percentage of the revenue from holders of TET will get a percentage of the revenue from EPOS?
No, 40 months something else. Yeah, of TCT.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so yes. So not only will, by staking your TET, will you receive the TCT token as a reward? And I'm looking at the APYs here for like the returns, which are calculated daily, which is also impressive. So for 3 months, you gain a 15% return, 6 months, you gain 20, and then 12 months, you gain 25% APY, which is, very generous in my opinion. Yeah. And but not only that, but by holding TCT, you become now eligible to receive part of the revenue share from the EPOS usage, and then also are able to participate in governance decisions. So I'm appreciating this kind of positive feedback loop by simply taking your TET, staking it, which then decreases the supply of TET. When you're looking at supply and demand, everyone knows what happens next, and then you're rewarded in multiple different ways through receiving that TCT as a reward. And then also, almost forgot this, but we already established that when DeFi comes to Tectum 4.1, you can then use your TCT as collateral to lend and borrow, and then use that to participate in other DeFi protocols, other staking, other all these different dApps that exist around here, or just lend out your TCT and make a return on that as well, which seems pretty much like a no-brainer to me here. But I feel like I can go on and on talking about different DeFi strategies, which I'm very happy to do here. But I know our audience also wants to know a little bit more about the airdrops. Can you maybe shed some light on what that looks like there, Dimitri?
Yeah, absolutely. So the airdrops are absolutely and definitely coming. They will be for the TET holders, and well, the airdrops are more likely to come for the people that hold TET in our wallet. Why is that? Well, because first of all, it's easier to track, right? And it's obviously easier for us to reward people with TCTs, because first of all, we don't need to pay the commission to the network. In that sense, if let's say you held TET in third party, we will need to send it through Ethereum, whatever. We need to pay for Ethereum, we need to pay for this and that, and we also need to manually track people, which is, well, I feel like would be a nightmare. So it's much easier for us to track it through the wallet.
That makes a ton of sense.
So, yeah, absolutely. So I feel like the TCT also incentivizes the use of our wallet.
Okay, sorry, I think I'm understanding now. When you say users who are holding TCT in their wallet, are you meaning the SoftNote wallet or any particular? The SoftNote wallet.
Yeah.
Understood. Okay, so there's the alpha there, friends, and I'm just going to repeat myself one more time just to make sure that I'm saying it correctly here. So the recipients of the airdrop will be users who are currently holding the TET token, TET token in their SoftNote wallet. Yeah. Perfect. So one last time, if you are interested in receiving the TCT airdrop, make sure you are holding some of the TET token in your SoftNote wallet. That's the alpha. I'm going to make sure that I'm lined up here. I don't think I have much happening here. I'm pretty poor these days, so we'll have to see what's going on. But I'm sure there's some conflict of interest in there. So let's just change the topic real quick. Pretend I never opened my mouth here. So perfect. And then also the other component of the airdrops is loyalty. Now, is there a different mechanism for that, or is it still holders of TET?
The loyalty, I know people put some effort into it, right? People were expecting rewards, and we understand this. Loyalty is not forgotten.
Yes,
absolutely not. The loyalty is still on. We're just trying to think of the smartest way, of the most, not even the smartest, I would say the most convenient way for us and for the users that participate within their loyalty to reward them. So it's in progress, but then once again, so we have the TCT launch next week, we have the EPOS launch next week as well, as well as the 4.1 is coming up September. And I feel like I'm answering one of the questions in the comments from the previous Twitter post, because I remember someone was asking what's the plan for September. So I'm telling you guys once again, next week we have the TCT and EPOS, as well as in September we're expecting the 4.1, and hopefully around September, maybe late September, somewhere in fall, we will have the API for the crypto processing.
Brilliant. I know that's one of the more asked questions in our community AMAs on Telegram is about the API here. So yeah, no, I really appreciate that. Lots happening in September. Wow, this is going to be a big month.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm just scrolling through the comments here, seeing if there's any questions we can answer. Here's one from Admiral Jack. I'm not sure if you have the answer to this here, but he asks, hey guys, will the TCT token be bridged with the TET token so that prices are identical? That's a good question, actually. Any insight into that?
I can give you an insight that the prices will not be identical, at least on the launch. The pre-sale price will be different. It's already determined. I'm in no right to tell you how much it will be, and what so on. But the pre-sale price is already set, and you guys just wait for updates in the upcoming week. So we'll tell you how to and when to.
Gotcha. No, great answer. And then from my own research, when making the most recent episode of Tectum TV, I was told that not only will there be a significant discount for investors at the pre-sale, there'll be even more of a discount for TET holders.
There will be, if you want to know inside, there will be two types of discounts. One, if you buy it in bulk.
Okay.
Which is logical enough, right? And second, if you buy it with TETs.
Okay, that's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Got you. So if you buy in bulk and if you buy with TET, those are two separate discounts.
Yeah, correct.
Understood.
I'm unsure if they can be stacked. I'm telling you straight away, I'm not sure if you can stack them, but I know for sure that if you buy them with TET, it's cheaper, as well as if you buy them with bulk, it's also cheaper.
Gotcha. Okay. Do we have any sort of an idea on what is considered bulk?
I'm not sure if actually they put it on the website, to be honest. I'm pretty sure they had it.
Okay.
I'll double check on the website later on. If they didn't, then there is a reason they didn't. So I'm
okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Understood. And
I cannot tell you that. I cannot tell you then,
Totally fair. And if anyone is interested in doing some digging, feel free to take a look on the Tectum website, which is simply tectum.io. And I do know that it's been recently updated with a bunch of information about TCT here as well. Perfect. So we are just about wrapping up here. I don't see, the only other questions I see are about listings on major exchanges. Any new insights into that? I know this is a question we typically answer every single one of our AMAs, but any new insights into that at all, Dimitri?
I tell you this, Trav, regarding the listings, the big listings at least, first of all, I'm the wrong person to ask. First of all, it has to be Leon, because he's the guy, right?
The guy.
And also, we also all within the Tectum team understand that, the bull run is more likely to happen very soon enough. If you see the latest crypto trends, people have been investing to Ethereum a lot, right? People have been pulling out from the Bitcoin, and, all of the signs, well, at least in my personal opinion, is that the bull run is coming up.
Yes.
So, there will be quite some marketing soon enough for both TET and TCT. And there can be some updates regarding, listings and, that.
Okay. I think that's a fantastic way to end this conversation. A little bit of anticipation sprinkled in near the end here. So very excited. And I can confirm that I've been looking at the charts, and liquidity is now officially streaming from Bitcoin to the major altcoins, and everyone knows what happens from that point here. So things are shifting, things are exciting, and I'm really excited to ride these waves and to see. Actually, I think the biggest thing, Dimitri, that I'm most excited about is to see the vision of Tectum come to fruition. And I hope that doesn't sound too corny, but really maybe this is a good way to end it, is that what drew me to Tectum in the first place was the fact that its mission is to make crypto more accessible, more usable for people in the world who really need it. And it sounds like there's so much happening in September, first of all, with the launch of EPOS, with the TCT launch as well. And then I know there were a bunch of other ones that you mentioned here also that, are representing massive steps forward in making this a reality here. Now, actually, before I forget, one last thing here. I did get a message, and apparently the team wanted me to mention that apparently there are partnerships that are happening right now, and the aim is to get the Tectum name out there to all different other communities to kind of have that cross-pollination in the crypto ecosystem. So that is happening behind the scenes, which is also huge. And I think that's about it. Any final words you wanted to share with the community right now, Dimitri?
My final words sounds wrong. So basically, I would say, guys, just wait and see. We understand the skepticism. We understand that the summer has been relatively dry. Let's be honest, right? We went through stress. We went through everything, and from now on, it only gets better. So we already have the EPOS scheduled. We have the TCT scheduled. The 4.1 is coming up, all tested. The crypto processing is also coming up. I don't know, Traf, if you knew about it or not, but we are also redesigning the wallet itself. We're trying to make it easier. Yes, exactly. Yeah,
touching on that Tectum episode or episode 3.
Easy. Yeah, as easy and as accessible. And I've tested it myself already.
Okay.
It's much easier. Trust me, even myself, sometimes I get confused with all those different types. Right
Absolutely.
Now, it's straight and simple.
Okay, and that's also going to be huge. That's going to be massive, just in terms of decreasing those barriers of entry, not only to crypto, but to the technology and the tools that Tectum is kind of trying to share with the world. Easier the better. Honestly, that's perfect. I'm really excited to be able to share those updates with the team. Maybe I'll see if I can have a little bit of a behind the scenes test here as well. Maybe we can get some footage out there as well. Actually, I do see one more question here. Now, Chopped Pineapple, I really appreciate you being here. I recognized your PFP from our last AMA as well, and I really appreciate your curiosity and your just your passion to know more about what's going on with these updates here. And I just want to let you know, Chalk Pineapple, that Dimitri did address the marketing here. There is a plan to start a major marketing campaign very soon. I didn't necessarily drop any specific dates, but I know that TCT launch and the EPOS launch is happening next week. And then we have some other major announcements happening in September. And the good news is that, with the liquidity shifting in the entire crypto ecosystem, bull run's looking good, alt season is happening, there are specific plans to ride that wave in terms of marketing here. So and then I also did just mention to Chopped Pineapple as well about the behind the scenes efforts to connect with other reliable projects to have kind of a cross-pollination of our communities. That is well on its way here as well. So really appreciate you being here, and thank you for the thoughtful question.
Absolutely.
Perfect. That is all. Dimitri, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for being here. I know you're super busy, and appreciate us being able to get out here and connect with our 420 viewers.
That's not bad. I tell you this
right now. Pardon me?
That's not bad for Thursday. I tell you this.
Yeah, right. I think you just people are attracted to your presence. It's pretty clear, Dimitri. I appreciate that. Awesome, everyone. Signing off here. My name's Trav. This is Dimitri, and together we are part of the Tectum team. Thank you so much for being here. Stay tuned for major announcements that are going to be coming soon. Check out Tectum Social on X. Check out Tectum.io for all the other updates as well. And feel free to join the Telegram group or drop a comment on X if you have any further questions or concerns. Appreciate you all. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you, guys.
Take care.